and then he knifes it through the back and
and
he hits the boogie on that one as well. Hello and welcome to the channel. Andy and Pierce here from Me and My Golf. Now we're PGA coaches for over 20 years and coach to PGA Tour winner Aaron Rai. And today we've got a special video.
We have a very special video because we are critiquing Rick Shiels' golf swing. So Rick Shiels, you know him, the guy on YouTube, the most followed guy on YouTube.
Thank you. Crowd are going wild.
This is...
They need some help, I think.
See ya. Where's that going?
Well, yes, he's got this break 75 that he does a lot of. We're going to actually look at some of those shots in a moment. But look, we're going to go through his golf swing, show you what we would do to help Rick, but also how it might sort of apply to you as well, and have a little bit of fun with this as well. This is brand new for us. It's the first time we're doing this. The first thing we are going to do is we're going to actually watch some shots from his latest match with Jon Rahm. So we'll go through those and make sure you hang on to the end because we're actually going to give Rick a score.
A rating.
A rating.
You're going to rate his golf swing.
So anyway, we've got this match here. Jon Rahm. Should we watch it?
Let's go.
Let's press play. There's a few people watching it. Oh.
It's a nice start.
First hole.
And that's the shot we've played with Rick. We're obviously good friends with Rick, and we've seen him hit a few of those hook shots with his driver.
Ooh, a bit low heely.
Necky one there.
Got away with it, has he? No.
Generally, that's sort of Rick's pattern. He has more of a draw swing. It's more of that draw shape and
As
a
he
slice.
Fade.
And then he hits a slice on that one. You see no divot on that shot, very clean, and these are the things that Rick tends to do with his irons. He's not really a compressor of the golf ball.
A lot of
sort
shape
of
on
picks
that.
it off the top, and again, that shape. It's down the woods.
That looks a good contact, actually.
Short game shot there, left short. I think Rick's had a little bit of trouble with the short game, but a little bit more of a, if you've got a full shot, you'd want a bit more compression. And then he knifes it through the back and he hits the boogie on that one as well.
Was it me or is Jon
That's a
Rahm,
card, by the way, if you're American.
Jon Rahm and Rick Shiels kind of looking a lot alike these days?
I think the one thing I like about Rick's golf swing though, it's really free flowing. He's got a really nice fluid golf swing. It doesn't look like he's trying to hit loads of positions. Interesting finish on that one.
Oops.
And through the back.
But again, similar thing, no divot in that one. Get it low on the face a lot.
But I do like seeing Rick's golf swing. His general swing looks pretty. It's a pretty golf swing.
It is, and when you see a shot like that, I mean, that looks really good. That was 188 yards, high, 5-iron.
Rick's not going to struggle with any
stopping
height.
it quickly. He hasn't lost that much distance.
And look, Rick's a PGA professional like ourselves. Some PGA professionals' swings look pretty shitty, to be fair. Rick's is actually it's a good golf swing, isn't it? It's a good golf swing.
And you can see definitely when we look at this here, compared to his analysis, which we're going to see in a moment, he's definitely working at the game. That was a nice shot.
Now, we know that Rick is doing some work on his golf swing. He's been for a lesson off Claude Harmon. He's actually had a lesson off Bryson. And both of them said the same thing. Rick needs to get the weight into his lead leg so he can get the low point after the golf ball, so he can create that compression with his irons. Let's take a look and let's show you maybe why it's so difficult for him. So let's break it down, front on view. Let's have a look at his golf swing. What we're going to notice here straight away in Rick's swing is he gets plenty of wrist set. Now this is actually much more improved than we've seen it in the past. So he gets a lot of wrist set early, so you can see by the time his hands are past his thigh, that club has already set a lot. To the point where as we move him back to here now, before his lead arm gets parallel to the ground, he's already got 90 degrees of wrist set at this point. If we continue on here, his arms go relatively high. You can see great width in the swing here.
I would love it if he stopped there.
Great.
If that was the top of his backswing there, that width that he's got, it's going to be a lot easier for anyone who's got the same issue as Rick, where they're using too many wrist shields, where they're using their wrist a little bit too much, that face can get open, which obviously Rick would have had a problem with in the past, but that would be great if he just stopped it shorter.
So if we carry on now, we'll see his arms go, we can see his high arms, but his arms have gone very long. That right arm has sort of moved back a little bit, continued to go on. Doesn't really need to go that far, so he's got a lot of wasted energy. Now, whenever we get a lot of arm runoff, we have to then, especially with high arms like Rick, we have to then almost compensate and not move the body as fast and as hard to this way. So this is why now from here
to that way.
To this way, sorry,
the target.
To the target. So Rick has to drop the arms to try and get it sort of back on plane, and then slow the body down to try and catch it up. And we'll even see through the golf ball here, the head moves back. So we'll see the head sort of working back away from that window frame in the background. And his right ear, and you can see his chin now, the head stays down for quite a long time. So we'll see through impact, the head's down, it's down, it's down, it's down, it's down. I would love to see that working a little bit more freely of his head on the way through.
And you can see, just hold it there, Andy, look at that right foot very much planted on the floor as well, and as a result he's got tons of release. Anyone who's slicing the golf ball, they need to do this, but if you're hooking the golf ball with the body static and the hands doing as much work as that, it's not great.
So a lot of hands and arms going on here, and a lot of hands and arms on the way through. You can see why that hook and that pull is in there, but also this is why it's difficult for him to get to that lead side and actually compress the ball. Now, we're going to show you what he would need to do in order to really get onto that left side early, but let's take a look at the down the line first. Okay, down the line, let's take a look. There's a few lines on here, but they'll all make sense in a moment. We've got a swing plane line in, really key for hitting straight shots.
That's the red one.
That's the red one. We'll reveal the other ones in a moment. But let's take a look. Really balanced at the setup as well. Rick is here. His arms are hanging down here. Good flex in the legs. Looks really, really solid here. I think if anyone can emulate this posture, it's just a very, very solid posture that you can really use your body in a good way. So really, really good here. Let's take a look. As we move the club away, we'll see Rick. Again, this is, I think, what Rick's working on. He's got that club face as he swings away now at a similar angle to his spine. You'll see the yellow line. That is leading edge on his club face, and that yellow line are pretty much in line. In the past, Rick has had that club face a little open. This is what I think he's working on. He's doing a really good job of it. Now, if we continue on here, the club is pretty close to the plane here. We can see that early wrist set here, again, really something that we'd like to sort of minimize. But what Rick does as well from here, because he's sort of got the arms and hands active, we're going to see that the hands lift, and if we look at the blue line when he gets to the top of the golf swing here, that vertical blue line there, his hands are very much down or more in line with his toes. Now, for the majority of golfers, if we want to get the club swinging somewhere near the red line, if those hands are a little bit deeper, more on the heel line, it's actually just a little bit easier. Now, because Rick's hands are so high, it means he has to delay, and this is one of the things that he has to do, almost delay the body and swing and drop the arms down. But look at his posture as well, where the yellow line is. He's maintained his body angles brilliantly here. Really, really good for consistent ball striking misses. So from here, let's take a look at what happens next. So as we said, Rick's going to sort of drop those hands almost down that blue line in order to get the club down towards that swing plane. But this is sort of stopping him. He's stalling the rotation of his body here. But he really drops it down pretty close to this plane look. Very, very nice here. Again, so close. Again, great for straight hitting here.
This is definitely as good as we've probably seen Rick swing in a long time.
Yeah, and you can see straight down that plane line. Good, strong club face here. Maintain his body angles really well. But this is, again, now we'll see the result of everything that's happened before. The lower body a little quiet through the golf ball. The hands very active. That right foot look doesn't really move, and that head stays down a long time. And then
a lot of release.
And this is where we see wrist shields. Here we go. So those wrists are working hard, and not that body that much. I'd like to see him a little bit more up and out that shot earlier, and the hands doing a little less. So that really helps you understand really in depth about what Rick's doing.
I think just a couple of things from me on this. The Bryson drill is great for getting that impact and that low point later, but the good part and the genius part about the Bryson drill in the bunker, which maybe they didn't really talk about, was the brushing of the sand on the way back. Because if we think about the brushing of the sand on the way back, that's going to help Rick move it more with his body and actually get the club face a little bit stronger in the first part of the golf swing. And here's the other thing, Rick, just keep watching Jon Rahm swing. You need a bit of Jon Rahm in you, because his golf swing, shorter, stronger face, more rotation, holding the face off a little bit more. If you could replicate some of those moves in your golf swing, it would definitely help.
Okay, so there's the in-depth breakdown of Rick Shiels' golf swing. Let's show you exactly what we would do to fix it. Okay, so we're here at the Grand now. We're going to show you how we are going to turn Rick's series, break 75, into break 70 after he does these changes. So the first thing we're going to address, that we would address, is the move away. We've seen that he gets a little active with the wrists in the move away. So if we can start as we mean to go on, then this is really going to help him, and definitely help you guys as well. So let's go through the first drill, Pierce, of what we could do, or what we would do with Rick to really smoothen up this first move?
The key is to put the emphasis into the body and take it out of the hands. So choke down the club and then literally put it onto the trail hip like so. So you can see the grip is into the trail hip. The key when you're doing all of this drill is we're not applying pressure of the handle into the body. We're not trying to get the club being pushed into the body. We're now going to move the club with the torso. So from here, and the hips as well, but from here we're going to just move the club away with the torso. So you can see there's a lot of movement from that torso and hips and even the legs as well, but there's no pressure is being applied here with the hands. I'm not pulling the club or trying to get wristy. It's all in the torso.
Notice when he's doing this, look, he cannot really use the wrists here, and if he does, he'll feel the pressure in the grip.
Yeah.
So this is really just as Piers says, it puts the emphasis on moving with this, such a key part for the majority of golfers. If we can be more body-led, the hands and arms are going to do a much better job. So this is a great feeling for Rick, we would say, to just stop any of this sort of independent motion with these wrists, and this just helps into the next phase, which we're going to show you in a minute.
So yeah, just quickly on this to add to this, when you now put the club down into your hands and you have that same sensation, the club head will feel somewhat that it is outside of the hands. The club, for Rick, will always generally want to sort of go like this and get level with the hands, maybe even behind the hands for some of you golfers out there. But this is a great drill for keeping the club head outside. But also look what it does to the club face as well. It keeps the club face stronger. As soon as we put those wrists in, as we've seen, there's more chance of that toe getting up and the face getting too open.
So let's just hit a shot doing that. And I'm going to ask Piers to just do one thing actually that he doesn't know about yet. So just hit one. You can see his little rehearsal there, just to feel that it's more body-led, wrists out of it. Okay, yeah, nice tight little draw there. So what you can do with this as well, and I think Rory did this, I know a few people who've done this. Just take your setup for me, Piers.
Yep.
What we're going to ask Piers to do now is just go to this point, okay, where he's took it to there, where the wrists have been, let's say, inactive, and then I'm going to ask him to just swing back and then go through. So we're almost presetting the move away a little bit for us there.
For sure.
Really good thing to do, so let's just do that.
Great drill, I like the way you keep him on the feet, throwing this thing in here, Andy. So yeah, move to there and then complete the swing and hit.
So a couple of really simple drills that can help that move away. If we get off to a great start, it just helps really the next part. So here's the next part. We mentioned that Rick was a little long, so he just carry on, the arms would run on a little bit and it get a little bit narrow. So the next thing really, Piers, is just creating the awareness of where we want the top of the backswing to stop.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk us through what we can do and what Rick could do for this.
So we're going to use Tiger's nemesis drill, but maybe favorite drill. When he first got on tour, him and Butch Harmon worked to this a lot to help get some sync between the arms and the body, and that was literally swinging to the top of the backswing and stopping. So literally getting to the top, stop, and then hit. What that does is it gives you time to feel where it is, but if you're using mirrors or maybe the Me and My Golf Live practice app, you can actually see where you are at the top, and you've got that association that you can feel and see, and it's just going to improve the learning.
Do one more of these, and what I'd like, if this is a drill for you, if you get a little bit long, pause for a little bit longer. So Piers, I want you to swing to the top, pause, feel that width, feeling away from the head. You can see how short it is from there, and now go. Add in that little bit of a pause. It's so tempting to want to sort of get there and go, but just make sure that you get there. You might go, oh, I've gone a bit long. Let me stretch it out a little bit. This is something that I tend to struggle with. And then go there. Having that couple of seconds at the top could really make all the difference.
Yeah, I like that, I like that.
Okay, so one other thing, let's just go to the top of the backswing here. If Rick was gonna have some coaching with us, this is what we would potentially look at as well.
I'll go for Rick's move, yeah.
So what we've seen with Rick is, because he's early with the wrists, we've said that the butt end of the club doesn't quite get back on the heel line. Now from here, what tends to happen now is that he'll have to almost delay and swing the arms down, move the head back to get the club somewhere near the plane. But we know that this limits his ability to move towards the lead side. So if Rick was having coaching from us for a good period of time, the fact that we're doing this would generally move his arms more around. So if you just demonstrate what that looks like, Piers.
Yep. So from here, as you say, the same sensation of stopping at the top, but now we've got the arms are wider and deeper around the body.
And the butt end of the club now is closer to the heel line, which means as he starts now, he can shift and start to rotate, and the club will come down closer to the plane, but it allows his body to move in a much more efficient way. Whenever these arms get super high, there's no way we're going to sort of rotate and shift that well, because we'll swing over the plane. So this would almost give him the ability to move a little bit more free. So that's almost the bonus of the first two drills, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, now here's the goal. We know that Rick's poor contact, let's say, is a little clean. He gets a little clean, struggles to get this nice compression, and we saw that he wasn't quite up against that impact line, which is one of the key things to creating great ball turf contact. But he can't get to this impact line. It's very, very hard with the things that were going on. But now, with the changes that we would make in the backswing, now he has the green light to go, okay, now I can really move hard and aggressive towards the target. So here's the next drill. Call this short to point. Sean Foley had one of these. It was called set to point, where you set the wrists. Rick, we don't want you to set the wrists anymore. So we're gonna go short to point. And what we mean by the point here, Piers just demonstrates, you're gonna swing through with a bit of speed. So many great things about this. Look at the right foot, much more active. Look at the body, much more active. The head, much more active. There's no real independent movement of wrists like this that happens. And we know that for Rick, if we, summarizing the golf swing, he was definitely a little wristy, a lot of independent motion of this, and not enough movement and synchronization of the arms and the body. So we can hit shots, and we'll get Piers to do it now, where we can have plenty of speed, we'll go short and wide, and then we'll just go to point. And as you can see, get nice interaction with the turf. His body's working super hard, right foot's active. Everything here is going to help Rick sync things up, get great ball turf contact, but also create some stability in the face, Piers, as well.
Absolutely. Let me hit another one. I'll just go through how we really want golfers to do this. The key with this really is to hold and stick the finish for feedback. So again, I'll go, as you say, Andy, Rick doesn't need to be thinking about wrists, so it's just a short backswing. So short, point. Now when you hold this, you can see whether you are doing everything that you want to. You can almost take your time looking at the club face, check, arms, check, torso, check, belt buckle, check, right foot, check, right leg. But also what we are doing as well, we're creating a lot of movement from the body, a lot of rotation from the body, what I call a long body, but short arms. As soon as you do that, you're then encouraging yourself to get more from the body and take out all that excessive hand movement.
Definitely. And all this really is designed so when you then put this into motion, it helps you really move towards that line. We saw Bryson obviously talking about trying to get Rick to really hit that ground. This is what it's going to encourage him to do, providing the few things that we do in the backswing are good. And if you just take your setup, Piers, what we're looking for, and we've already mentioned this, is that by the time Piers in his downswing, by the time his left arm is parallel to the ground, we want to see that the whole of this left side is against that impact line. So we're really getting this early shift, and then from here we can go ahead and sort of rotate through and get this low point past the ball here.
And everything, like you're saying, everything that Bryson's saying, hitting the shots out of the bunker is amazing training, really good. And we'll often have a golfer say, look, let's just have some practice swings where we hit the ground after where the ball is. We'll put the ball on a line and we'll hit off the line, trying to get the divot after the line. We'll have our ball striker towel in there. Again, all of this is focusing you past the golf ball. But if you have this issue where the club face is getting open and we've got this excessive wrist in the backswing and then this move on the way down, you're just not going to get past that ball.
So hit me one more full shot, and then we're going to go into sort of the last thing that we would do, something that we could recommend, definitely helpful to you guys as well.
This is a good key. Again, when I'm doing this rehearsal, we can see the club is pointing kind of at the body still for the first stage. Then we've got the club face is nice and strong as well.
Okay, so let's just hold this finish, make sure we get to that left side. Again, moving nicely through there is something that you don't have to.
I don't need any encouragement in moving towards the target.
Doesn't have any trouble with that at all. He can definitely take some good chunks of turf.
Yes.
Okay. The final thing.
I'm amazed with the quality of the ground I've been living here, Andy. I'm very impressed.
The final thing we're going to do is just towards the head. Now, look, all these things we wouldn't get Rick to do all these things at once.
No.
But this is just a bit of a breakdown of how we would work with somebody to get them to better golf and more consistent golf. The final thing is just to allow the head to release a little bit more. We've seen that on the way down, Rick's head falls back and almost his right ear goes onto his shoulder a lot. All we'd want to do is encourage that head to move. This is something that Tommy Fleetwood is actually working on. He went to see Butch Harmon. Tommy Fleetwood told us that Butch said he'd just like him to release that head a little bit more on the way through. You'll see Tommy gets a little bit like this on the way down, where that right ear gets to the right shoulder, and he just stops motion on the way
Like he's
through.
on a mobile phone, isn't he? He's on a call, isn't he, without using his hands.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly that. And so how Tommy described it, which I really liked it was allowing the body to now support the club better by encouraging head rotation, which allowed the body to rotate more, which supported the club, which was really good.
So you'll see his caddy Ian do this.
Yeah.
And this is interesting. If you were to see somebody do this on the range, you'd think, oh, he's trying to keep his head still. Actually, what he's trying to do is encourage his head to move forward and away from the alignment stick. So, yeah, we're going to hit some shots now. And Piers is just going to feel like the tightest cap, look, moves that way and away from my alignment stick. Great thing about this is it encourages in his body to move towards the target. Got to keep it nice and short and wide still.
We just call this peak to the target because it's literally as you just allowing yourself to follow, and it, as we said, it encourages the body a lot. So
okay, so let's
let's
give this a go again. You'll just see that cap moving towards the ball. Beautiful. Probably the best strike there as well, Piers.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so let's actually rate Rick's golf swing. We've got 3 things. We're going to rate it from freedom. Freedom, I think Rick's got a really nice free-flowing golf swing. I'm going to give him an 8 on that. Freedom.
I like that.
Simplicity, I think he's pretty simple still. He's a little bit going on, but I'm going to give him a 7 on the simplicity. And then the third one, versatility. How good is it to switch from iron and driver? It's definitely more suited to a driver at this point because it's definitely more shallow. So for the versatility, I'm going to give him a 6.5. 6.5. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that. Who should we critique next? Let us know in the comments down below. And if you enjoy our videos and you want more coaching from us, we do golf schools here at the Grand. Amazing 2 days experience that leaves you with a brand new game. But also we have our online membership where you can halve your handicap. Members are seeing some incredible results. Check the links in the description and we'll see you next time.